Hi and welcome, chart artists. Welcome to a new day, new episode. Let's analyze the price of Ethereum and Bitcoin. What are the next moves? Let's look at liquidity and let's get right into it. As always, please smash up the like, hit subscribe for future notifications. And before we dive in, just 3 news articles I want to get through. Bearish, bullish. And then if you have not seen my live stream with Andy yesterday, please go check it out. Nice little interview. Great spending time with you, Andy, as always. And if you'd like to trade with me, use my links here in the description to sign up to any of the 3 exchanges I use to do my daily trading. Bybit, BingX, and Mexi, 3 of the exchanges that I do my trading on. Great bonuses. Sign up. Let's get straight into it. Okay, first things first. Little bit bullish, little bit bearish. Grayscale has over 530,000 Bitcoin and could theoretically keep selling into mid-March. Okay, bearish. 530,000 Bitcoin is not small money. That is significant to send us down all the way, perhaps to sub $30,000 round about there. So perhaps they're selling in small little portions, and who knows, a little bit of bearish news over here. Jim Cramer, we all know Jim by now, and when he turns bullish, you know you need to start shorting. The top is near, and when he turns bearish, you know the bottom is most likely in, if not in a little while, or close to the bottom. Jim Cramer has doubled down on his bearish Bitcoin price lookout, predicting that it's unlikely that crypto will find its footing. That is definitely bullish. Okay, last update there. 9 new Bitcoin ETFs has bought over 102,000 Bitcoin in just 7 days of trading. It took MicroStrategy 300 days to buy 100k in Bitcoin. Wait till you see the FOMO kick in. Definitely some bullish news on the horizon, but it doesn't really tell us what's happening with the price of Bitcoin right now. We're here to trade, we're here to scalp, we're here to use a little bit of leverage. Use my exchange links down in the description. Come trade with me, and let's get into the price of Bitcoin. 3 scenarios, perhaps 4 scenarios that I'm watching here on the price of Bitcoin is to say, okay, let's first tackle the Elliott wave scenario. When I switch on a potential leading diagonal where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ideally, you don't want to see us touch the top of the channel. I've also highlighted this yesterday in my YouTube video. Please go and check it out. And for us to come down and make a 5th wave, you want to see us turn around here. So when I go and switch on some of my trends, I love trends. For those of you that's been following me, I love me some trend lines. They help you track momentum, and there's great trading opportunities and strategies that you can apply that makes them very successful. And if you'd like to know more, the details on how to dive into them, join our Legends Trading community, where myself and Andy post daily updates, educating, having lots of fun, trading together, and making cash with good risk management. Okay, so for this scenario, you really don't want to see us break through this trend or touch the top of the channel. So for this scenario to play out, you really want to see us perhaps come down up here, reject, okay, find acceptance back below the level to potentially then come and complete this 5th wave here to the downside. If this scenario does play out, the one thing that I will look out for is, well, we do have a lot of levels of confluence here at the $37,000 level. If I start switching on some levels, my daily levels, my weekly levels, monthly point of controls, you can see that we have 2 daily levels here. We have the monthly point of control, and we have a major trend line from this upsloping momentum since we started this run to the upside. Okay, so lots of confluence here, but I will not go in all crazy 100x when we get to this level. It's about observing the price reaction when we get there, because if this is indeed a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the downside, you could have a B expanding flat target where you move up, you stop out the early longs, and then you find continuation to the upside. Okay, so it's all about observing the price reaction, getting acceptance back above the level for continuation to the upside with good risk management. Okay, cool. Let's get the scribble out. The other scenario that I'm watching is to say that, okay, well, what if we do find continuation here to the upside? You really want to see us break this trend and come and touch the top of this channel. It then increases the probabilities that we are going to find momentum to the upside. Perhaps reject at the daily level for a nice little scalp and a retest, finding acceptance back above, rejecting, okay, acceptance. You're climbing the ladder to the upside. And then when we do get to the $44,000 level, we'll have to observe how price reaction reacts over there, because this could potentially be that higher low that everyone is expecting. Okay. Another scenario I'm watching is to say, well, what if we do come back down, we sweep the lows, grabbing the liquidity above these lows, which I can see is building up at the moment. We can go and look at the liquidity heat map now, and then find continuation to the upside, which is also quite bullish. You sweep the lows and you find continuation back to the upside, touching the channel for that breakout to the upside. Okay, I'll discuss something very interesting when we do get to these levels here as well. It's not to say that we are just going to tap it and immediately move down. Okay, there's another range trade strategy that I would just like to highlight, but for now, let's go through the last scenario that I have on the cards, is to say we could move up from here. Okay, so let me switch on the scenarios for you guys. I've got it prepared. Is to say we have our blue scenario where we move up from where we are right now. Okay, move up, we reject, and then we go and make a deeper correction to the downside. Then the green scenario is we sweep the lows and then we find continuation to the upside. And then the yellow scenario is what I explained in the beginning, is where we go and we reject here at this trend, which is also, if I'm not mistaken, switch this on, a point of control of this range over here. Okay, so perhaps a fake out of the trend, a rejection at the point of control for continuation down to complete the fifth wave, where you could have an A flat target, B stopping out the early longs for then continuation to the upside. Those are basically the scenarios that I am watching on Bitcoin. Another scenario that we have to consider is, well, what if we do not find upwards momentum? Okay, we'll just have to, you have to observe the price reaction. If we do come tumbling down here, observe the price reaction at each level. You want to long when you get acceptance back inside the level, not when we are outside trying to catch the bottoms or the knife. Okay, you will burn yourself. Adding to your position will get you in a lot of trouble and burn your account. Right, let's take the brushes out the way and see what else. The scenario I wanted to highlight is when we do get here to the $44,000 level, we also have a range high and a range low strategy that I like to refer to, is to say that, well, what if we do get here and we go higher? Okay, that scenario then is to say that I have a pivot over here when we consolidate it, right over there, a nice little pivot. Okay, and that is what I refer to as the range low or the range high. You have a drop, you have a little bit of a retracement, and then you had the continuation to the downside. So it's very important that if we do come back up here, you want to see us tap, perhaps you'll even have a wick to the upside, but you want to see us move away quite quickly. And perhaps even with a retest, you don't want to see us tap this weekly level again for continuation to the downside. Probability state that when you tap this level twice, okay, it increases the probability that you're going to fill this gap and also come and potentially back to this point of control of this range and the daily level on top, which could still then give you the higher low that everyone's expecting, but much higher, turning people extremely bullish in this area, only to then reject over here, then for the dump. Because my sense is a lot of people out there, when I look at the YouTubers and people analyzing the charts and the news over Twitter, everyone is waiting for this $44,000 level. So perhaps we will go higher, changing people's mind in terms of we back in the bull run, we're going up to the moon to reject a little bit higher. So definitely a scenario that I'm keeping in mind. Okay, let's take the brushes out the way. For now, those are the scenarios that I'm watching. Let's look at liquidity. Okay, and CVD. Liquidity, still a lot of liquidity to the upside. The one thing I have noticed is it seems that the liquidity are starting to dry up, because there was way more liquidity yesterday than there are today. And you can see up until, from where we are right now, up until the $44,000 level, there was massive liquidity, and now it seems that liquidity is moving lower. Okay, so perhaps people tightening up their stop losses and taking profit, anticipating potentially a much lower low for then continuation to the downside. Okay, so translating this back into the price of Bitcoin, what if we do not get to the $44,000 level? And that is why we have to observe the price reaction at each level. We have a daily here at $43,000, and then another daily here at $41,600. So it's important to say that, well, what if we don't reach the liquidity and we fall down from here? Definitely you need to keep an eye on that as well. Okay, cool. Let's dive into Ethereum. Ethereum, when I go onto the 8-hour, very simple technical analysis over here, specifically from a spot bag perspective, if you want to add to your spot bags, is we are inside a channel. Okay, cool. been tracking this channel here from the 19th of June 2022, and we've rejected at the top, created the bottom of the channel, and then now what's happened here, we tapped the top to perfection. Okay, currently finding a rejection to the downside. Also we have resistance on top, and now we are here at this home line, this momentum that I've been tracking here to the upside. Let's zoom in here a little bit. Okay, currently consolidating on this home trend, so potentially a great buying opportunity, also depending on Bitcoin. Remember, also what could happen here is perhaps that beautiful retest. Okay, you come down here, you retest, we have support over here, the trend a week down, you find consolidation inside the support for then continuation to the upside. So definitely a key area that I'm watching over here, and also where we are right now. If Bitcoin decides to turn around from here, this was potentially a great load up zone for Ethereum. Home buys are usually the best buys because that's where you can manage your risk the best. Okay, still I'm tracking this trend. Let's just zoom in here onto the 4 hour, take the scribble out the way. Okay, so from a 4 hour perspective, I'm tracking this momentum here to the downside. We have lost this home line. We are currently now consolidating on this home line. We have support and we have a trend over here. And perhaps, you know, depending on what Bitcoin's going to do, if we do lose this area and we flip this support into resistance, consolidating below, we could find ourselves again at the bottom of the channel. If you'd like to see the best trading investment strategy on your portfolio, please go and check out this video. It will most probably be one of those life-changing videos. You will see the strategy is extremely simple and you can apply this to your long-term portfolio for significant gains. Until the next one.